Hi, I'm Lucy Hafen. I work at a Montessori charter school in the Sacramento area. For this assignment, I chose to interview our behavior analyst. Her name is Zenit Siddiqui. And the first thing we talked about is FBAs and how you go about it. She says that when she is going to do an FBA, she will observe a student anywhere from like 4 to 6 hours. And that is not something that I don't know how many hours I'll be able to do, but I guarantee it's not going to be that many when I do this FBA for this assignment. But that's typically what she puts in. And then we also talked about, it's important to define the problem behavior that you're looking at when you are presenting your results to parent. You have to be very clear with that. And so when talking about this particular student, it seems to be that he's bored and he's off task. He doesn't want to do his jobs. So it's kind of like, how can I say that concisely? And we kind of got around to saying that the problem behavior is the distracting peers by tapping on their work. So because she was probing a bit, and kind of that's where we got that distracting peers behavior. And then she probed more with me into what's the antecedent, and based on the data that I had taken from the observations that I have so far, is that he's doing a job that he is capable of doing, but it's a non-preferred job. In this observation that I had, it was a handwriting job, and it was during independent work time, which is just a general block of 1.5 to 2 hours of time where students are all doing their own thing. Everyone's working on a job individually, except the students are in a small group lesson with the teacher in one corner of the room. So teacher is not available to monitor the student. There's a TA that will be available to them, but at this particular time, for a chunk of my observation, that TA was out of the room, probably doing some other task that needed to be done. But anyways, so when he's not being monitored closely, I think that's when we see these behaviors pop up more frequently. And so I think that's what was happening. But the time of day was at independent work time. And so she asked me, well, is it like all students or just one particular student, or, a couple targeted students? And it was just seemed to be the students that are in close proximity to him. So it's not necessarily any particular student, just the ones that are close. And sensory factors is also something that Zenit and I discussed, because autism, that's very real. And in the Montessori environment, you see that a lot, because during the independent work time, there's all kinds of things going on. There's students over here on the computers doing their Rosetta Stone or their iReady. So they're, speaking in different languages. And so that could be distracting. Plus there's other students working on this other assignment over here. They're making noise. And other students going to retrieve materials. There's lots of students going around doing different things. So there's lots going on in a classroom that could be overstimulating if you have all this noise going on. And for this student, he relies on ukulele and singing pretty much across the day to just get through, because he needs that to help him cope. And then, something else that we had talked about was what Zenit asked what the classroom staff is doing to support not only this student, but the other students that are trying to get their work done, hopefully, and not, reciprocating with the distracting behavior. But so in this case, it seems like there are specific peers that were chosen to sit with AC. Is the initials of the student I'm talking about. But and those peers seem to be more productive, so not necessarily ones that would be prone to engage in that distracting whatever behavior. But anyways, and then also this student has a behavior contract twice a day. He is asked questions whether he has a calm body, he's respectful to staff and peers, is he getting his jobs done? And if he answers those questions, then he can earn a certain amount of earned activity time. And then also, hopefully there's some proximity to a teacher or checking in with the teacher to make sure the student is getting work done. And then another part that Zenit helped probe is how do the other students respond when he's like tapping on their work? And on my observation, the student had asked AC to stop, and then he did, and then he would do it again, and then the student would like prop up his binder to like block, to say, okay, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna work over here while this binder is over here blocking you. And then AC would take his pencil and tap the binder a few more times, and then student again asked him to stop, and then he stopped after that third time. So the question next put to me by Zenit was, what is the reinforcing behavior? Or what is reinforcing the behavior, sorry. And so we had determined that it was attention from either peers or adults is probably what he was after. And I think that makes the most sense. And then and then what I learned from this interview is that AC struggles to initiate the non-preferred tasks, even though he's totally academically capable. He just needs somebody to help him get started and to push him through. And then once he's on track, then he'll finish the job, most likely. But it's tricky because if the TA is working with other kids and can't get to him, or the teacher is running a lesson, that person is not necessarily there to help him with that. And that is where the intermittent reinforcement is occurring, and that inconsistent reinforcement is only perpetuating the off-task behavior. So that would need to get managed in order for him to not engage in that off-task behavior. That's all I got. Thank you so much. Bye.